Hey guys, how's it going? It's Norchetto here again. Thanks for coming back. I've made some minor improvements. I've been working really hard. I got some front lighting, and I hung up a sheet. Right? Sheet. Yeah. So what I look to do is make a few little small improvements as I make more and more videos, and hopefully if things keep going well and these keep being well received, then I'll have a real nice setup in no time. So hey, here's to that. Today I really wanted to touch on two or three things. One being the owners of the Atlanta OverWatch League team that we're going to be getting next season, and the other being some mild speculation about maybe potential names or color schemes. So let's jump into it. Cox Enterprises. They're a Atlanta-based conglomerate with multiple arms that do just multiple things. A lot of people know them as an ISP, a broadband provider. But they also have what I think is more important to the league is the Cox Media Group, which is the arm of the company that focuses on media, digital media, television, newspapers, radio, and advertising. The reason I think that's a big deal and why this is good is that one of the major features of that aspect of Cox is that it's their job to know their community. They're making local news stations and local newspapers, and it's their job to do outreach and make sure that they know about their community and they know about what people in the community care about or want. So I think that'll actually be great for the fans. I expect that will lead to great fan events. I think that'll lead to a lot of, hopefully, a lot of good digital media. One of my favorite things about specific teams in season one was their outreach and their videos and their social media team, and it really made you more familiar with the players and the team and the organization. And I think that a company like Cox and the Cox Media Group specifically can do a lot for that. So yes, they're an ISP, and I think a lot of us have thoughts on wanting to give money and support to ISPs, but I think overall it could be a good thing for the team and for the fans. So we'll hopefully see good things coming from that. But more importantly, and mainly because it's just more fun, is I wanted to get into some speculation about team names and potential team colors. So as far as team names go, there's a couple different ways you could look at it. One would be what exists in Atlanta right now, and is there anything, any thematic stuff that we could go off of? And the answer is yes. If you look at the now defunct Thrashers, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Falcons, you'll see that we have bird names that could be a potential naming scheme for the Overwatch League team. What bird? I mean, it could go a lot of different directions. I've heard some people say they'd love to see the Atlanta Owls, just tying it into OWL, the Overwatch League, and the Atlanta OWLs, but I don't think that's likely. I think it'd be fun, but that's not really Atlanta specific, and I'd really like something Atlanta specific. So maybe a bird theme. One bird that does exist in Atlanta history and Atlanta culture pretty prevalently is the phoenix, and I know that may seem strange to a lot of people. But the Atlanta City Seal actually has a phoenix on it, and that's because Atlanta is, I believe, the only American city to actually be, or Atlanta capital, maybe, or excuse me, American capital, or something along the lines, to fully be burned to the ground and rebuilt. And so from the ashes of the previous city, the new Atlanta was built, hence the phoenix on the seal. So the Atlanta Phoenixes, maybe the Atlanta Phoenix, I'm not sure. It's something that's definitely prevalent in the history, in the culture, and it ties into the bird theme. So maybe. The other potential name that I thought of based on pretty much the exact same situation as the Phoenix, except without the existing team names now for the city, is the Atlanta Resurgence. So the city seal that I was talking about has a phoenix on it, but it also has the Latin word for to rise again, resurgence, and or the modern version would be resurgence, to surge again. And I think that could go over really well, the Atlanta Resurgence. And it could still even tie into having a phoenix as the mascot, not necessarily the name, but if the name of your team is bringing up images of rising again, then having a phoenix as the mascot would fit completely with that. So you have the bird theme tying into it, but it doesn't have to be the name. We already have the New York Excelsior, which that's the motto of New York is Excelsior, ever upward. So I think there's actually a lot of potential for the Atlanta Resurgence. Beyond that, I'm not really sure. We have the Atlanta Braves, which I just, especially with today's climate, I really don't see them going with any Native American imagery for a lot of reasons. But we also have Atlanta United, who is the MLS team, the soccer team out of Atlanta, who've been doing really well for themselves. And while United doesn't really bring up any major imagery of the city, one thing that they do a lot of in their game rituals and the just fan engagement and city engagement is their ties to railroads. They have gold railroad spikes for all of their games. They have a giant gold railroad spike that they hit with a big hammer, I think, every time they score, that they get a bunch of fans to sign. It's a really cool experience. And that's because Atlanta wasn't always called Atlanta. Atlanta used to be called Terminus, and it was a major terminal for travel. There was a big train depot, and Atlanta was a hub for any kind of major train travel, and that has expanded and grown with the construction of the Atlanta airport. Atlanta has maintained its identity as a travel hub, being a hub of civilization, travel, and just communication between people is something that's very close to the culture of the city. So I could definitely see them leaning into that. Now, what the actual name will be, I have no idea. The Atlanta Terminus, maybe. I just don't see that. But it's definitely a unique part of Atlanta culture and history that I could see them trying to draw inspiration from. So that's my concepts for maybe some names. The biggest ones being the Resurgence or maybe the Phoenixes, and then areas of speculation being maybe travel themed or travel hub, terminus, terminal, something like that. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know, and we could talk about more in the future. Beyond that, I wanted to do the same kind of speculation with color schemes. So much like the recurring theme of birds with a few of the teams, the recurring color theme that we get in Atlanta is red and black. So Atlanta United, the soccer team, the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons, and even the University of Georgia all use red and black with different accent colors, be it gold or silver, white. And that color scheme really speaks a lot to a lot of Atlanta teams. The problem is the Shanghai Dragons are red and black with yellow accents. So unfortunately, I don't actually think the red and black is going to come through for Atlanta. Maybe a majority red with black accents, because when it comes to red right now, it's generally used as more of a secondary color in most of the teams. So there's potential. I just, with how many other teams already have schemes very close to that, I don't see it happening. The Braves, the other big team in Atlanta, are red and blue, and New York Excelsior has that locked down. So while black and red is potentially there, or rather red with black, it's just too closely tied to especially the Shanghai Dragons, and I don't see it happening. The color scheme that I've been looking at that I would love to see, and I think it's very classy. I think it speaks a lot to the area, is a gray and peach combination. So, as a lot of people know, Georgia is the peach state. And pretty much anywhere you go in Atlanta, the directions are going to include go down Peachtree. Whatever Peachtree it is, Peachtree Road, Peachtree Street, Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, it doesn't matter. It's going to have Peachtree in it when you're trying to get somewhere. Peaches and the whole imagery of peaches is huge for Georgia. And while it'd be weird to name a team after that, I think it would be great to bring that color in. Atlanta United actually have jerseys that they came out with that are white with peach logos, and I think they called it their King Peach jersey. And I think it looked great. I think the peach got lost a little bit in the white, but not too much. I think it was fine for an away jersey, but I think maybe like a nice maybe lighter gray color with that peach logo and name, I think it would look great. So that's that's what I'm backing. That's what I'd love to see. But beyond that, any color scheme I could really think of that would really make me think of Atlanta is already mostly claimed in the league. So if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know. I'd love to hear some more speculation about names and colors. And maybe we can talk about that more if we don't have a name or color scheme soon. So I may put up another video if we have any more information. Speaking of new information, they are supposed to be officially announcing the teams from Guangzhou, which, again, I really need to look up and make sure I'm saying that right. Probably not. But they're looking to announce officially that team and the Atlanta team, according to Slasher on Twitter. So that was supposed to be yesterday. He's usually fantastic with his accuracy, so something must have come up. I assume that's going to be today, maybe tomorrow, but it is coming soon. I'm pretty confident in that. It will be an official announcement. It will be official instead of just a very, very solid leak that Atlanta is getting a team, and I will get excited all over again. But hopefully that announcement will come with some new information, which we can discuss in a future episode. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I get some improvements going on with the stream sheet, right? But I do want to look to I need a new camera. I'd like to get a new microphone. Obviously, the backdrop situation could be better. Lighting situation could be better, but my hope is if I can continue to make these and there's good feedback on what I have to say, that I will feel confident in investing in the channel more and more, and little by little I can grow this into something a lot more professional than it is now. So if you have any ideas, any recommendations, critiques, criticisms, anything like that, any corrections or anything I say, please let me know. I'm always looking to improve, and until next time, guys, thanks a lot.